President Barack Obama and thousands of other Americans will gather in Selma, Alabama to mark the 50th anniversary of Bloody Sunday, that awful day in March 1965 when African Americans marching to Montgomery to demonstrate their frustration with the obstacles they faced at the ballot box were beaten as they crossed the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Annie Pearl Avery and John Rankin were there, and they remember it vividly.
One thing I will never forget, when I got ready to march from the church to go to Montgomery, my mother had tears in her eyes. I'm the baby son. There's 11 of us in my family. And I'm the youngest son. My dad, by him being a preacher, he told my mother, God will take him. God will take him. Mama said in front door, watching me go out the door with tears in her eyes. And she had a fear that I wasn't going to be coming back. You know how mothers get to be sick. Dad said, let him go. Let him go. God's going to take him. Something sounded off. It sounded like gunshots, but it was tear gas. So what happened is, I'm trying to go forward fast then to try to find out what's going on. Right. And he grabbed me. He said, you can't go any further. And I don't know what it was. I guess it was the youth in me. Right. He and I began to have this physical disagreement. And we were wrestling and going on, and finally he got two other officers to come along with him, and they took me on off to jail. We got to go to Montgomery to tell George C. Wallace that we need to vote. White folks and all, nigga can't vote. Vote for what? We want somebody gonna lead, give us some leadership. All right, John Lewis, Jose Williams, they came down. They came down. They started talking, we started talking, communication, stuff together. Said, well, we gotta do something. Everybody's scared. I'm scared too. Said, well, I'll tell you what we do. Let's get our stuff together. We're gonna go to Montgomery to see George Wallace. And ask him why we can't vote. Okay. Everybody looking around, things done got quiet now. Everything done got quiet. Especially when we left from the church, switching this way, coming this way. Everything so quiet. Seemed like the birds stopped flying. Seemed like the water started running up on the bridge. That's how quiet it was. Now everybody's shaking up and nervous, shaking, but we didn't know what's gonna happen. So we got over there and we know, Lord, we all gonna die today. When I think about it now, I think about it was a God sent for me because I had contusions and abrasions, but there were a lot of people who were really hurt, much, much worse than I was. And I didn't realize being in that jail cell at the time, all the noise I could hear, I thought it was just from the river or what, the echoes or something. But I didn't realize they were beating the people all the way back to the church. I heard about the freedom rally coming here. About me being 17 years, I got scared. What's freedom rally? Then I gotta listen. Then I heard about the people, something for the black people, for our side. So therefore I joined with them. I was going to school. I'll be here in school. I haven't finished school yet. I'm 17 years old. We got together in this school. The students got around inside the school. We had one teacher in that school. His name was the Reverend Frederick D. Reese. He was the one called on Martin to come himself. So Martin come down and said, "We're gonna need some help." So they were gonna take us and license teaching or everything from here, just strip him down. We can't let that happen. Not the students. We all walked out. It was hundreds of us walked out from the school. Went down to the started saying, "What you want?" And you're gonna let nobody turn me around. Scared the same thing. You know, scared, afraid, going wrong in a minute. But you know, you ain't seen them fight. No black police officer, no black nothing. We kept walking the same. President Reed came at you and said, "Y'all be quiet for a minute. Don't get yourself straight with them. March so far. Come back here." We did that. When I was about 9 or 10 years old, I went to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to live. Okay. With an aunt there. My mother had 4 of us, so my mother decided to share me with my Aunt Hattie. Her husband had passed, and she didn't want to stay in the big house by herself. And my cousins were young adults. They were getting ready to leave and go to college. Right. After being there from 10 till I was 14, I'm back in Birmingham, and I'm back at the back of the bus. You know, all kind of things happened to me emotionally because here I am. I'm back at the bus. I can't go get a hot dog with this. You know, I'm saying all these. I guess I can only say that might have been part of it. And when I get back there, all kinds of stuff that happened. Reverend Shuttleworth trying to integrate the school there in Birmingham with his own children. And a man by the name of Max Parker was murdered down in Poplarville, Mississippi. That was in the press. One man there in Birmingham, the man was castrated. And the only thing saved him was the fact that they poured turpentine on him that kept him from bleeding to death. And his name was Judge Aaron. He left after he got well where he could leave. He left Birmingham. When I met Wilson, I told Wilson that I was ready to go. I got my own ticket. But see, when I bought the ticket, I also bought something else. I bought me a knife. I'm going to protect myself on the bus. I had a knife in a pocketbook, you know. And I had never had a knife before, but I figured I might need some with all this fighting and stuff going on. But Wilson says to me, so well, you can't go because you don't understand the concept of nonviolence. Now, I had been hearing the word, but I didn't know what the definition of it was. I went to the dictionary. But in the dictionary, the word was not in the dictionary at the time. So I told him to explain it to me. Right. He said, well, that's when somebody hits you, you can't hit them back. I said, I don't think I want to do that.
Not that you got your knife.
Well, no, I don't think I want to do that. You know? So he said, okay. And what I did is I got a refund for my ticket. Oh, yes. I got a refund. I needed my money. I got a refund for my ticket. I ain't going, I want to go, but I ain't going with this.
I'm not going with this nonviolent business.
Yeah.
Nonviolence business.
So about three weeks or so later, Wilson comes into the AG Gaston Lounge, which was my little hangout with my friends. We'd all hang out. And Wilson walked over to me. He said, well, how would you like to go to Atlanta to a student nonviolent coordinating committee meeting? And I thought about it. I said, well, I will get the opportunity to learn more about the civil rights movement. I said, well, also, I'm going to get the opportunity to go to Atlanta. I've never been to Atlanta before. Right. And I'm going to get the opportunity to go free. I left my knife at home, and everything is history. The first SNCC meeting I went to, they were talking about Mr. Herbert Lee's death. He had just been murdered. And he was murdered in 1961. That's when I got involved. He was murdered in 1961. That was 2 years before Medgar. And they also talked about Clyde Kennard, who tried to enter the University of Ole Miss and was arrested 2 days later for stealing a sack of chicken feed and stayed in jail for a long time until Dick Gregory was able to get him out before he died of cancer. Now, there were several, I'm saying the Freedom House in Jackson, Mississippi had 235 bullets riddled into it. And not one person got hurt.
How do you explain that?
Well, there's no explanation for that. We were committed and we were devoted. We were frightened a lot of times. I've been in situations, when I come out of Mississippi, they had blown up a restaurant down the street by mistake. They were trying to blow up our house where we were staying, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, the sheriff come out and said, "By God, they blew up the wrong damn house."
And you kept?
We kept going, but I'm just saying the fear, you know that something might happen to you. And you have the real fear, and then all of us, in thinking about it, and you made a commitment to do something, then you also made the commitment to suffer the consequences, whatever it was.
You had asked about where's the leadership.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what happened to me.
What happened?
They are afraid to open their mouth. So I'm not afraid. Every day or every morning I get up sometime, I feel like somebody's going to kill me. It's all because of my mouth.
When you think back 50 years, has a lot of progress been made?
No, not a lot. What it is, it's done a little bit more smart than with the white boy. There's a lot of progress have been made now, but you can't see it. And I'm thinking now, why can't we see a lot of this stuff that went on? Look, all this money been coming to Selma, all this tax money coming to Selma. Every year we had a jubilee. Where's the money? Right? Yeah, still, you come across that bridge, or you come that way or that way. It look fine and good. But go that way or go that way. The houses, the street, still got a pothole. The house is still right.
Gather round, children, listen. Let me tell you a story about a village that is built with His glory. No sorrow in this place. Just lift your voice and say,